Hey, lady. So, welcome to GTTW. Oh, hold on. We got somebody else coming in as soon as I start. Look, as soon as I start.
Hey,
Hello.
hello.
Good afternoon. So, you all know me. I am Yo Yo, and I am going to be your lovely host for the day. So, for today is Self-Reflection Thursday. It is a self-reflection type of day. So I am going to ask a few questions to you ladies first before we get started. The first, if my fan will stop blowing everything everywhere. The first question I would like to ask everyone today is, am I taking anything for granted? So, do you feel as though you are taking anything for granted? Hold on, I got somebody else coming in. Does anyone welcome Nova? So we are just getting started. So today is Self-Reflection Thursday. So we are going to do a lot of self-reflecting on different things today. So my first question is, am I taking anything for granted? Does anybody want to start us off?
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay.
So my youngest niece and nephew, they were probably not the exact youngest, but my sister's kids had picture day today. They're 1, 3, and Gracie's like 5. She's graduating pre-K this month. And I'm looking at the pictures and I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, when did all of you can stand up and walk? Like all of you, like you're about to go to kindergarten right now? Like what? And I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh. And I have some other nieces and nephews, and then like my cousin just had a kid. And I'm just sitting up here like, what, where did the time go? I know I'm the self-proclaimed rich auntie, but I haven't been able to spend nothing on y'all or spend time with y'all or none of that stuff. And I'm not a babysitter type of person. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I'm just not, that's not how I'm wired. And I stay in my lane as it relates to child rearing. I had the one, and she's good now, and she's great, and I am great with that. And so when they were super little, I really wasn't. And every time I talk to her on the phone, like there's so much going on, and so much chaos, and I love peace. But then I was sitting here thinking, I was like, do y'all even know y'all TT Alicia? When I'm talking to y'all on the phone, like my nephew, he gets it because we'll FaceTime. He gets it. But those other ones, they just know when I come around. I'm the one that gives the hugs, and that's about it. And I'm sitting up here like, oh my gosh, do they even know me? I want to spend more time with them, but I don't want to watch them. And so I feel like I'm taking that for granted. I'm taking being a TT for granted, being the aunt. I'm taking it for granted because it's not that I don't like kids. I love them. I just love they're their own little bundles. Some people they're bundles of joy. Some they're chaotic for me. And I'm like, should I just wait till they get a little older? I have older nieces and nephews, and I could just spend more time with them. But I'm taking that for granted. My role as aunt, I'm taking for granted. And I realized today because it was picture day, and they were looking so cute. They were so cute. But yeah, I don't spend no time with them. I'm just like, let me find a side hustle. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do that. And I'm like, I gotta go visit them more before they forget who I am.
Thank you so much for sharing. Miss Superstar, she says she wants to go next.
I am on the wagon with Alicia, but it's not auntie. For me, it's fine. It's fine. That's it. It's just fine. My grandson will be 5 in October. I still have not seen him, but I can't make his mom make time for me to see him in person. I have 2 great nieces that might forget what I look like because their dad won't make time for me to see them. When I come into town, I call, he don't return calls. But I decided I was going to stop wasting time reaching out to people that don't want to be reached. But I realized, and I did that, I made that decision because I realized I was taking time for that. Because I can be enjoying myself, living my best life, while I'm worried about who's going to remember me, who's going to know me. If they do, great. If they don't, it's your parents' fault, not mine. Because all I can do is what I can do, and let God sort out the rest. That's it. That's all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. Anybody want to go next? If
I'll
not,
go.
all right, come on.
I feel like I'm taking my ability or my freedom to be still for granted because I literally don't have to do anything. But since I'm able to do stuff, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing stuff all the time and ripping and running and and I feel like it's it caught up with me a little bit, and so I'm being still now. So we're gonna use past tense. I have taken it for granted, and I'm gonna do better. And yes, I'm gonna be still, and that's it. Thank y'all for letting me share.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right, anybody want to go next?
I'll go next if you want.
All right, come on.
But granted, as I just hear y'all and I feel within myself, what am I taking for granted? Myself. I'm taking myself for granted. I know my abilities and I know what I can do. You know, I it's just like sometimes I like to lay down. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I like to not overthink. And it's just that I got to give myself more kudos and give more time and more nourishment to myself, instead of trying to spread it thin and spread it around. Okay. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. All right, anybody who wants to go next? We got Nova.
We'll go.
You want
Can
to
you
go?
hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Well, I think I'm taking, even though I don't like my job, I think I'm taking it for granted because it does pay my bills. And but I also am taking myself for granted because instead of using time to do the things that I know I would be better at or I'm interested in, I'm um I'm working a job that I don't like. So I'm kind of in a catch-22 here. But soon I'll figure it out because I'm trying to find other things. And I've been reaching for other things like writing books or getting into other fields of work that don't require so much of my time, and they're more flexible and they pay a lot. So,
Oh, she's in the bathroom.
mhm. So yeah, I'm waiting. I'm reaching for other things. But I'm taking it for granted across the board, and I need to figure something out very, very soon because it's wearing me out.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right, so let's see. Who just Miss Infinitely Abundant. Hello, thank you for joining us this Thursday.
Hello, hello.
So today is Self-Reflection Thursday. So we are just going to do a little bit of self-reflecting on some things. So the question is, do you feel like you are taking anything for granted? If you would like to
Yeah,
go.
that's good. I feel like I'm taking yeah, sometimes I take my free time for granted. Um yeah. And I'm working through that as we speak and being more task oriented or having, goals for each day. No matter how, it doesn't have to be anything like, extravagant or heavy. It could just be picking up dirty clothes or just having because I'm been with my daughter since she had the baby, and it can be a lot of downtime sometimes. I do spend it out sitting outside as I'm doing right now, but I can be using that time also to do other things. So taking my spare time, free time for granted.
All right, thank you for sharing. Miss Messenger of Light.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you feel that you are taking anything for granted?
Yes, I do. I feel that I am taking my spirituality for granted and taking myself for granted because I'm not being consistent. Um, I'm not being consistent as I should with things that I've set for myself as far as like the little prayer journal thing that the book that I got, I haven't been consistent with that. And so that hence I'm also being not consistent with God the Father. So that's what I feel that I'm not being consistent with.
All right, thank you so much for sharing. So for myself, what do I feel like I am taking for granted? I have to say sometimes I feel like I take for granted my abilities. I am a very strong person. Um, very smart. I sell myself short a lot of times. I tell my friends sometimes, I don't know why, but I kind of feel like I'm afraid of success because there are things that I know I have the ability to do. I think it makes me afraid because it's like once I get there, am I going to be able to sustain it? Um, so really I feel like I take myself, my ability to just do and be successful for granted. All right. So let's see.
Definitely relate.
Huh?
I said I could definitely relate to what you said and to what Miss Armani said. But can I just say at the same time, as far as consistency goes, for me, I just learned that it's all a part of the process. Like I started this 30 days of consistency on TikTok and probably got to day 7, and it's all a part of the process because you went from not being aware of it to being aware of it to doing something about it. It's like becoming another version of yourself takes time. And not to say it's okay to slack on what you feel you should be doing, but like don't beat yourself up at the same time. Like it's going to come back around, or something else may. And I feel for myself, I was doing things. I get a spark. I'm great at starting, the zeal of like something new, and then it'll fade out. But subconsciously, am I feeling like I have to be doing something? Am I chasing after something? Then it's like, if you're chasing after something, you're gonna lose wind after a while, versus just letting it happen naturally is something that I'm learning, because I feel the same way as far as consistency goes.
So I'm gonna stay right there with you, Mr. Bundy, because you actually kind of started to answer the question that I'm getting ready to ask.
Okay.
What are you really afraid of?
And it's funny that you even said about success, because when we ask those questions in the shadow work class, that was one thing that I wrote down. Like, are you? I know that I have a lot of, I'm gifted. I know that I have purpose in being here. So why aren't you doing the things that you feel led to do, or that I'm not letting you out here? Sorry, my daughter's cat wants to come out, and that's your mom's job. That I don't mess around with jumping out. And that's one thing that came up about being afraid of success. That's one of the things that I came up with, and that's a real, because we ask for a thing, we see it. I see the potential. God already shows me, the visions, and it's like, do I really want to be not in control, but like what's the word? Like, I can't think of a word. It's not control, but of other people's growth. These are things that I just ponder on, these questions, like, because it has to be something, and maybe that could be it, a fear of success subconsciously, the old version of me still shying away from things that the new me knows that if it comes to me, then I'm more than capable to, see it through. So, it's like those layers and things that we suppress for so long, they still linger, even though the present us, is like, we're getting it together, we are expanding ourselves, our minds and stuff, but we still have, like I said, this heart that we have is the same heart that's been in our bodies since we were in the womb. It has experienced a lot, the bones. Yep, thank you. Thank you. Responsible, yes. But there's still versions of us in there, so that's why it's important to constantly do the introspection and self-evaluation as we're doing, to just check in with ourselves. So all of that to say, I would say success is one that I'm picking apart to get a better understanding.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Stardust. Did I skip you for the first question?
What am I taking for granted?
Yeah, did I skip you?
Yeah, I didn't know. I had a whole
apologize.
bunch of, no, I had some Wi-Fi trouble, so I didn't know if I was being seen or not.
Okay,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
I was just
I apologize. So, Miss Stardust, do you feel that you were taking anything for granted?
I asked myself this earlier today. I'm going through a season of just paying attention to myself and my surroundings, and my surroundings don't have boundaries. There's not a lot of people in my surroundings that have boundaries. So when I like, I'm living with my in-laws, when I moved with them, I never had support. Like, my mom had just passed away, and I never had a supportive family. So I was able to leave and go as I pleased. I didn't have to worry about my kids or anything like that. And now that I'm learning about boundaries and learning that they don't have boundaries, it was sometimes where they didn't have the time to watch my kids, or I could have took them with me or stuff like that, but just the courtesy, I was taking that for granted.
Okay. And so since you're here talking, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you the second question. What are you really afraid of?
Being supported, like
Supported.
not having to beg or plead for things that I need. Just, even if it's just an ear, just those things.
All right. Miss Self, what are you
Yes,
afraid?
ma'am. Full transparency. I am afraid of failing, letting myself down. Most of all, disappointing God. I know better, so I am doing better and really working on myself with that. But in this present moment, if I had, when it pertains to what me taking my freedom to be able to be still for granted, I feel like if I don't move around, like I'm not gonna be able to help, like, my family or my spouse or even my, not gonna be able to take care of myself. Me having to, I guess the freedom of having my own money is not something that's new to me, but it's something that I lacked for a number of years once I had that back surgery. So being dependent on my husband, my brothers, my brother, my mother, it it kind of shifts my thoughts into a negative place. So I just, failing, letting the people that I love the most down is, I want them to be proud of me. I know that my dad is looking down, and he was, my number one cheerleader. And I don't, honestly, I get that from some of my family, but I had to learn how to cheer for myself too, because I was dependent on them to do it for the most part, and wanting to please them and make them happy and be able to support myself. So I feel like, yeah, just disappointing myself and disappointing the people around me is what I'm afraid of. I'm working on it though, because God is good and He ain't gonna let me fail. Thank y'all for letting me share.
Gonna let you fail. All right, Miss Superstar. Can you go? I know you driving or traveling.
We all on the same page. Is success, because with success, you know, and that like is
Yeah, you kind of cutting out too. Oh, I think she just dropped, got in a bad area. Okay. Let's see here. Wait a minute. She came back.
you
Okay. Yeah, you dropped for a second.
yeah, is success, they say, to whom much is given, much is required. So that's a lot. It's a big responsibility coming from a dysfunctional family. Everybody looking for something and don't want to do nothing to earn it. They just want to wait for somebody to give them something. So that's where I am. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I don't know. I never had problems with my phone out in this area, but for whatever reason tonight we are.
We can hear you. Thank you so much for sharing. Miss Iridescent Star. What are you really afraid of?
Oh, you hitting it on the nail today. Fear of success is a big one, and it's mixed with that failure. Um, and dying with my dreams not achieved, and that's a big one. Like, I want to be able to fulfill the things that I'm, been put here to do, my passion and the gifts that I have. I don't want it to be like I've buried them in the sand. I use that parable often because I feel like I've been given so many gifts and talents and things like that. And I want to be able to use them and express them and share them and add value to the world and be able to do that in a way that's, you know, fruitful to the people who receive it, and also, you know, for myself as well and my family. And so sometimes I feel like, you know, I don't want to also alienate myself either. And that makes it hard to move beyond your circle and move beyond what your family has done. Because, you know, one, people look up to you, and then, you know, two, people are like, oh, you too good for us now, type of ordeal. And I've heard that often, and that it hurts because you don't want to succeed so far from them that they don't think that you know, are, you know, right. And so that being judged and being looked at a certain way, and it's like, you know, y'all already think that, so what's my problem? Not that that is that, but you know, that forever trying to prove myself that no, I'm just like you, and we're, you know, I'm just like you're just like me, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, like when God has given you a gift and you're special in that way, you are special in that way. And no, we are not all the same. We all have our different gifts and our different talents and things like that. So feeling like, you know, I've left them behind, because, you know, we hear that whole crab in a barrel type of analogy all the time, and it's like, oh well, once you've done such and such, they leave and they leave you behind, and I don't want to do that, but it's also hindering me too. So, and I'm afraid that that, you know, that part, that's what I'm afraid of. And I know that's what's holding me back, me and my loyalty, and not and my loyalty to others, when I need to be loyal to myself and my dreams and in this gift that I know I'm supposed to have. Not supposed to have, but the stuff that I'm supposed to do.
Thank you. Miss Messenger of Light, what are you really afraid of?
Okay, sorry about that. I couldn't get the volume like it's right. Much like pretty much what everybody else is saying. I guess it would be fair. I'm afraid. Am I afraid of? Afraid of failure, afraid of success too, which is kind of weird. That's I feel both, but um I think the reason why I said that is because I have so many different gifts and so many things that I am good at, and I um haven't really, you know, poured into my business like I should, and utilizing the gifts that I have. Or even if it wasn't just with this business, it was with the edible thing I tried to do. I try to do an edible business with different little things or whatever. Even with the school, I didn't finish with that. So I'm afraid of being my own worst enemy.
Okay, thank you. Miss Nova.
I have the same issue. Actually, I tend to start things and not finish them, but also I feel like once there's a financial pressure to keep up with things, doing what I love, I'll lose interest with it because it's no longer something I love doing. It's also I would have to turn it into something that makes me money, and a lot of the things that I want to do are to help people, and usually the people that need help don't have the money. So I'm not in it for the money type thing, but then I need to live, right? So like I'm kind of I think about these things constantly, and um yeah, I just been praying for a way, find a way um that'll work out, where everybody wins, not just my benefit only, because I'm not about that.
Thank you. And Miss Everlasting, what are you really afraid of?
Girl, I'm over here like all I get is I ain't afraid of nothing, okay? I really ain't. And so only thing that I'm afraid of, if I really can say, if I really get, it's like, if you gotta pick something, what it would be, not seeing the snake. That's my only, that's my thing. I'm not scared of success. I'm not scared of talking. I'm not scared of being rich and taking everybody shopping and going shopping and spending money and having money and losing money and getting it again. I'm not scared of that. I'm scared of, I gotta say, not seeing the snake when the snake is right there. I gotta say, I'm not using my discernment. You know what I'm saying? Now God has given me such discernment. That's what my making sure that I'm using my discernment in everything that I do along this walk. That's what my fear is. Dupe, not using it. Okay, that's it. Thank
All right, thank you so much.
you.
So me, what am I really afraid of? I've already said, success. I feel like I am afraid to be successful because for whatever reason, I don't know. But I think my main thing, and then this is because I have seen it so much in my family. I am not afraid to die. I've been close to it too many times. I am not afraid of that. I am afraid of losing my mind. Like literally. Um, I've been there. And it is a very scary place to be in. When I say when you can't hold a thought, when you can't make sense of just regular everyday things, that really does make me afraid, because when I say it took me about 8, 9 months, because I had a nervous breakdown, it took me about 8, 9 months just to come back to myself. So if I'm just really afraid of anything, it is literally just losing my mind. Um,
Thank you for sharing that.
it
That's a major thing too, because so many blessings and so many great things can happen so fast, you would think that it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the way to lose the mind, Lord, don't let us lose our mind even in that form. You know what I'm saying? Because when you said it, that's all I was like thinking, like, oh God, all this for me? Yes, it is for you, for us, for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I pray that God cover our minds and cover our hearts and everything. That was real good. Thank you for sharing that. I felt to say that because God's so good to us. And right now I feel like tonight is a very special night. And this is a good, you know what I'm saying? And my mind's is about to be blown, but we ain't gonna lose them, okay?
okay. All right, so we are gonna move right along. Let's see. Which question do I want to ask? Ooh. I'm gonna save that one. Okay, so the next question is, what surprised you most about your life or just life in general? I'm gonna go first on this. So what has really surprised me about just life in general is how time just goes on. Whether it's good, whether it's, I mean, when you're growing up, you really don't have much of a concept of time. But as I have experienced things in my life, it's like, oh my God, this day is so good. Like, I just want to hold on to it, but I can't hold on to that day. Look, what Glorilla say, at the end of the day gotta end. Oh, you have like the worst day of your life. And it's like, oh my God, is this day ever gonna end? Like, and then it ends. And it's like literally how time literally just keeps moving on, whether you want it to or whether you don't want it to. Time waits for no man. It is going to continue. So that is my surprise. Anybody want to share? Or y'all want me to pick?
I go.
All right.
What surprised me? Say it again. So I get
What
it.
surprised you most about your life or life in general?
What surprised me about life in general? My life. Oh gosh, that God is so good in the crunch time. You know how what amazes me is that in crunch time there is no crunch time. You know, just like right when you think that you can't do it, or right when you think you ain't doing something, or right when it just, what amazes me about life is the right when. Okay. Ooh, that sounds good. And not only that, the right when. God, that's good. Let me share that again. The right when. The right when, WHEN, and the right when, the WIN, and the right when, WHINE. Breath. The right breath. Just right when you take that nice deep breath, you get that feeling again that life is good. You get back into that. Like Miss Nash said that earlier today on the phone when she was like in her class, and she learned about they talked about meditation and how breathing is bring you present and it gets you back just like that. So when you say that, that's what amazes me about life. You can have, it's always the right when, and the right when. 3 wins, Trinity. That sounds like mind, body, and spirit on that, though. Right, WIND. Thank you. What did I say? Wine, WHINE. Yeah,
We knew
WA.
what you meant.
Yeah, WIN. Ooh, talking toy. Thank you, girl, for paying attention, because you know I get a little slow. So I was so excited about the WHEN, WIN, and WIND. Come on, talking toy. Thank you.
All right.
Y'all got
Thank
it.
you so much.
Okay.
Miss Iridescent Star. So, what surprised you most about your life or life in general?
For me, it's that everything actually does work out for my good. And it's hard to conceptualize that until you actually start looking back, and it's like, oh, that thing that tried to break me, they tried to tear me down, actually turned out for my good. You taking them literal stumbling blocks and breaking them up and using the materials of all the things that tried to stumble you and using it as your resources to move on to that next level. Like all the times that I felt like, life was too much, or I was stagnant, or just life in general was just too hard, like all of that stuff. God will find a way to reach you. God will find a way to put you in the right place and meet the right people, or have the right phone call, or get the right email to kind of move the plot along in your life. And I definitely will say that's been one of the biggest surprises for me. Like you hear it, like it's taught to you, you preached it, but to actually live it and experience it and see time and time again, God did it. You know what I'm saying? God did it. That one song, where would I be if it had not been? You know what I'm saying? So that's the one. And so anytime that I feel like I'm at a wall, I have to remind myself that, nah, this situation, this just part of it. This is just part of the plot to get me to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's like plot twist. So everything is actually working out for me in every situation. You know what I'm saying? So for my good, even if when
All
it don't.
right now. That's what I'm talking about. Miss Stardust. What surprised you most about your life or life in general?
That all those times I was trying to kill myself, I was trying to get peace. It wasn't that I was trying to escape life or anything like that. My life was horrible. The facts were true. I didn't deserve any of the stuff that was going through with my family. and none of the stuff that I wanted to leave was actually stuff I wanted to leave. I didn't think, and like, as a effervescent star, now I use iridescent, like iridescent star said everything now. I use all of that stuff as fuel. All of the stuff that I get to accomplish, I get to see in myself. I need to get away from that and live so that I can show myself all the wonderful stuff that I get to see.
Yes, love it. All right. Yeah, let's clap that up. Miss Messenger of Light, what about you? What surprised you most about either your life or just life in general?
Okay, for me, what surprises me most about my life is my resiliency. Like I have been through some roads and some trenches and some ditches and some for real. But I mean, from a young girl, all the way up to my age that I am now, because I left home because of being physically abused or whatever, very early. So, I always had a forward thinking mindset. So I was always, even though my age was young, my mindset was not a young mindset. So that's how I was able to, like, what I'm saying, get myself out of a lot of sticky situations, just being able to survive in these streets, what I'm saying? Raising myself as I have in the streets. So just the tenacity and the resiliency, and what also surprises me is just how in tune, that how spiritual I've always been, and how I remain in spite of a lot of hurtful things, and what I'm saying, situations. I always pray, and I always remain not. I'm not a bitter person. I don't hold grudges. I'm not. I still have love to give. I'm still very loving, very forgiving. So that surprised me, because when I really want to be the opposite and I try to be the opposite, it never works. It never works for me. So I just, have to accept that, this is the way God made me, and it's for a reason. So that's what surprises me most, is my resiliency and the amount of times that I've had to, what I'm saying, rebuild. And every time I rebuild, I build back better.
All
Thank
right.
you for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. Miss Nova, what surprised you most about your life or just life in general?
Life in general. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Somebody, can you hear me? My phone's glitching, sorry.
We can hear you.
Somebody told me before, when I went to boot camp, somebody said boot camp is 99% heart and 1% physical. You can get through anything if you put your heart into it. And that just stuck with me ever since then. And something so simple as that just amazed me. Yeah, so that's all I have.
Thank you. Miss Selfie, what surprised you most about your life or life in general?
My power. I wasn't quite aware that I had any initially. Um, I think I was kind of raised to, I think they stay in a child's place. It kind of just came along with me. So I didn't think I had no power. And then just about in life in general, the power of words. How we talk to ourselves. I spent a lot of years speaking negatively to myself. And once I started to talk positively, I just like, it's just amazing to me. I would have never thought that the things that we say out of our mouth control so much of our lives. So, yeah, for me, my power and the power of words.
Thank you. Miss Infinitely Abundant.
That all of these responses are really great, and they all like go together. Um, and for me, all of those things surprise me about my life and life in general. One, life in general, that experience was one way. Like we just go about life every day, get up, go, wake up, go to work, get your coffee, all that. But then my life is a different experience. It's like what Miss Sophie just said, like taking my power back. So to experience things in life in general, and then it surprised me that I learned how to take my power back and to like be able to go in the opposite direction of just life in general. And it's like understanding when you go through things in life in general and you see problems as problems, they are that, just problems, and they're very heavy and you see no way out. But then in my life, I see purpose in those situations. So it's lighter. It's not, I don't feel consumed. I don't feel like, why me? It's like, yes, let's do this. But it took time to learn about my power, learn about who who um who I am to God, who God is to me, what that looks like, and it just makes it all worth it, and not just bearable. Not like before I would, and before meaning like I was working, I had a good job, a car, all the things, my own place, all that stuff, and it felt like I was just surviving. But now I don't have those things. I don't have the tangible things that people deem as valuable. But I'm like living, like to be able to be here with my daughter for these many months, to have my life set up where I can be here and to help out and to just watch my grandson hit these milestones, sitting up or holding his head up, going from being a chunky thing to slimming out because he's getting longer. Like that is really a blessing and a privilege that had I not answered the call to be redirected and reshaped and redeveloped, I would have been missing out on a lot of things. So I am surprised that I wasn't afraid to answer the call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all got me. I'm loving this. Look, it make you think and reflect back on yourself a lot, hearing a lot of y'all's responses. Um, Miss Superstar.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, ma'am. What surprised you most about your life or life in general?
My life, me standing upright, walking in my ministry and acknowledging my gifts, not hiding my gifts. Proud to share my gift with anybody who will listen. And just God's love for me. Maybe He just keeps loving me enough to wake me up day after day after day. At one point it was like, why me, Lord? But then now it's like, why not me? It's supposed to be me. So yeah, just and how easy things get are obedient. Everything is not always easy, but things are easier because we are obedient. So that surprised me because growing up here, you right, God, this, God, that, and you like, oh man, go on with it. But now that I got my big girl panties on and I can witness this miracle for myself, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So just my shift surprised me a lot.
Okay.
Because I went all the way left, but it was so right. Thank y'all for letting me share.
No, but I'm gonna stick right with you because we're gonna move in just a kind of a teeny bit different direction because we're gonna keep on going on this part. So with what you just said, because you was leading right into it. So my next question is, who are you really?
I am a child of God. That's it. That's all.
That's it?
That's it. That's all. I am his child, and I am here what he has. So honestly, my identity don't matter. I'm his child. That's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good answer. So when you are answering this question, keep this in mind because the next question is gonna go with what you're answering now, okay? So Miss Nova, who are you really?
I do not like to carry any labels on myself. But I'm having trouble with this question because this is where I kind of stopped at in shadow work.
Okay.
I'm doing, and I do natural, then the answers are gonna naturally. So, but what I have done, um,
You kind of breaking up.
okay, the same, and we have the chance to change people's lives, in whatever way that is. But I can't really answer that question. I'm having a hard time.
That's okay. That's something for you to think about, um, going forward, who you feel like you really are. Okay. All right, Miss Infinitely Abundant. Who are you really?
I am infinitely abundant.
Yes.
That's something that you know, it took a lot of time, a lot of inner work, a lot of ups and downs and change of perspective and being enlightened about a lot of things to really see that in myself and to know that that's who I am.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me share.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Stardust. Who are you really?
I am with Miss Superstar. I am a child of God. I love that expression allows me to continuously change and be whoever God needs me to be in what moment. And I found my creativity when I understood that I belong to Him. So
All right. Miss Everlasting. Who are you really?
Girl, y'all amazing. I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and I'm gonna stay with that every day. Anytime anybody asks me, who am I really? I'm a spirit in the body, okay? Just in this body. And I'll share that later because I wrote it down. But Miss Nash, I love you, girl. You said the right thing with it. But I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and that's who I am. And that's what I want to say to Nova. Just in case none of us know, take that in consideration. You know what I'm saying? take that. You are a body, and you are a body in the spirit. You in the spiritual realm. This is spiritual things going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So just take that, and that's good to not know. So now you get the answers. You know what I'm saying? All these answers up here, this just get you your own way. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Miss Iridescent Star, who are you really?
I am a multidimensional being. I am a goddess. I'm a queen. I am an empress. I am all of the embodiment of the dreams and the goals of the women before me. I am Nalisha Domino. I am me. I'm authentically and unapologetically me. I am a child of God. I'm also royalty. And it's a couple other stuff. I'm a mom, I'm an aunt, I'm a photographer, I'm a creative being, I'm a writer, I'm an author. I'm all the things and then some. And I'm extra too.
I love it.
A little sprinkle, sprinkle.
Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am. Miss Light, who are you really?
I am evolving. I am ever changing. I am forgiving. I'm a lover. I'm a fighter. I'm misunderstood. I'm a creator. I'm a gardener. I'm a poet. Um, I'm just like I'm under construction. I'm under construction. I too am a spiritual being having a human experience. And I will be so happy when I get back to my true home, because this one here haven't been too great. But I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Shit.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm just grooving and moving. You know what I'm talking about? That's all.
Oh, Miss Selfie. Who are you really?
I am everything that I need to be. I am a wife, mother, um, everything. Everything I need to be, that's who I am. For when I need to be that. And I had wrote that in my shadow works thing. I put spirit having a human experience, but in this moment, right now, I'm everything that I need to be. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm I'm amazingly and abundantly rich because I am creating my own happiness. And thank you for letting me share.
Okay.
Well, okay, so who am I really? I am Yolanda Shantae Coley. I am Yo-Yo the Queen. I am air, I am fire, I am water, I am earth, I am breath, I am life, I am happiness, I am love, and I am joy. I am body. I have embodied creation. My body has created life itself. I am a nurturer. I am a caregiver. I have a lot of roles in who I am. And doggone it, I am very proud of it. I fail sometimes, but I am not a failure. I get back up and I keep going. I am a conqueror and I strive to be what my I strive to be the best child of God that I can be and carry out his plan for my life. So that is who I am. So, in keeping with what you said, everyone just remember what your comments were. The next question is, in knowing who you are, do you care for yourself in who you are? If that makes sense.
I'd like to go first on that one.
Okay.
I already have an answer. I can already say no, that I don't. I put out more than I do. I put out for others more than I do for myself. So uh I feel that I don't care for myself as much as I should. You know, I need to start putting me more at the forefront. And I'm learning that, and it's a little complicated for me to turn that energy around, or turn that thing around to put myself first, because I'm used to catering or nurturing or doing for other people, you know what I'm saying, rather than or caring about other people's feelings more than I do my own. So I'm learning that now, that it's very necessary that I do honor myself, and you know what I'm saying, put myself embody all those things that I said that I am. Not the joking part, but on the serious end, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that I said this too, that in my head, it popped in my head, that I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? So I need to start utilizing those skills and those fruits, for myself, so that I can become the better version and finally figure out whatever the purpose is that God has for me. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Miss Selfie. In knowing who you are, do you care for yourself? You know who you
Heck yeah, I care for myself. Do I neglect myself? Yes, I do. But care for myself, I love and care for myself with my whole heart. Even if I don't do it like the way that other people think I should, I know that I care for myself. I know that I am the I am of myself. So I have no choice but to care for myself. I can't say I care for my husband, mother, sister, cousin, aunties, friends, and not care for myself. So yes, indeed, I do care for myself. I'm neglectful of myself, but I do care for myself.
Okay. Miss Stardust, in knowing who you are, do you care for yourself like you know who you are?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I When I started to look at myself as a child of God, I feel like I couldn't not look out for myself. He made me to be right there, right here in this moment, and it helped me fix a lot of my mommy issues and daddy issues, because it didn't matter anymore. I had somebody to be there with me to help me be me and take care of myself. Whenever I got tired, I leaned on the understanding that God was still with me. He carrying me, so I can get through tired. I'm not stopping. And I love how that cares for me.
Okay. Thank you. Miss Superstar, since you know who you are, do you care for yourself like you know who you are?
I have not always, but yes, I do. I do now. Now that I'm all the way awake, definitely, definitely. And the best thing I did to help me get that was learning how to say no to others and yes to myself, instead of doing it the opposite. Because I would deny myself things in order to do things for other people. Now I deny others and do things with a clean heart and conscience. Thank y'all for letting me share.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Miss Everlasting, since you know who you are, do you care for yourself like you know who you are?
You know I do, okay? If I don't care of nobody, I got to be the spiritual being having a human experience that I am. I walk like that. My walk is miraculous. My conversations are miraculous. I speak great things. Excuse me, God. Excuse me. That was the guy. If y'all see me eating the shit out that chicken, yes, I was eating that chicken up so good. It was so good, man. I don't know how many pieces I ate. I lost count after 6. Okay, it was really good. But anyway, that was Harold's chicken. Shout out Harold 87 segment. Okay, Chicago. Oh, I love Harold's. So I walk like that. So I take care not only of because I say and as I told y'all, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I have to take care of my spiritual self. So that's why I do soul healing baths. I got them cards. I do everything, whatever it is, to feed my spirit. My spirit must be fed because it's like you see this body, but this body ain't really all you see, you know. So I have to take care. I do take care of that part of myself. Thank you.
Right now. And Miss Infinitely Abundant, since you know who you are, do you care for yourself like you know who you are?
I sure do. And getting better at it every day
Yes, ma'am.
because it definitely is. They don't call it a journey for nothing, you know. I definitely do. In the areas, I like to say, you know, since I've been born again, you know, before I knew it, but it was a lot of lip service and wanting people outside of me to do what I'm not doing for myself, you know, treat me better than I'm treating myself. So now I don't expect anything less. So I definitely do, and I'm getting better every day, every moment by moment.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Miss Nova.
I just started putting my hands in the dirt yesterday, so I'd say my caring for myself has been a lot of baby steps. I had a baby in 2023, and so a lot of my energy has gone to her and just trying to stay afloat financially. So I have a roof over their heads and keep the lights on and things like that. But I'm here with you ladies. So I know I am taking care of myself spiritually, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be staring at my computer screen working, and I don't like doing that. I'd rather be asking myself hard questions like this and you know, really meditating on these things. So I could definitely improve though.
All right now, honey. Nothing wrong with improvement, baby. We all need it. All right, Miss Iridescent Star. So if you know who you are, do you care for yourself like you know who you are?
Sure do. Look, y'all know I do. And yes, that's been a real good journey. Finding the joy in the journey and truly, you know, loving on myself, self-love and self-loving care and doing some self-care, because self-care goes beyond some of the material parts, but I love the material parts too. You know, taking time, mind, body, and spirit to really love and care and nurture myself in all the ways that I have felt neglected, and all the ways that I felt that I wasn't enough and wasn't good enough, and looking for happiness outside of myself when it was truly inside of me, the God in me. And so I love on me the way that God loved on me. You know, we were taught when we were little, you know, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. And if Jesus loved me, why wouldn't I just love myself? I can't expect other people to love me and love me at the level that I would like to be loved if I don't know what them levels are. So I had to go and search in within me. How do I like to be treated? How do I like to be caressed? How do I like to be loved? How do I like to be taken care of? You know what I'm saying? And I know these things. So when someone comes to me and it's like, oh, I love you. Do you love me? Or do you like the things or the way that I make you feel? You know what I'm saying? So I know me. And I know what I like, and I ain't taking nothing else below, you know, my level. The bar is not here. The bar is here, and I'm not expecting more of you than I expect of myself to do in that regard. So, yes, and I take time, so much so that when I see my nieces and nephew, we circling back, right? I'm like, maybe it's time for me to nurture my family a little bit, sprinkle some of this this love and care on them. So, because I done set some good boundaries, I'm like, no, y'all are using me. You only want me because I do this. Y'all only call me because of this. And so, no, I'm going to take some time to pour in my cup because I can't pour from an empty cup. Let me keep pouring that thing up. And now that my cup overflowed, it's time for me. I said, okay, I got a little bit of extra energy to spare. I got a little bit of, y'all ain't going to get on my last nerve because I done tended to that. So, but yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. So this one was a really personal one for me because yes, I know who I am. I have not always cared for myself like I know who I am. I know one of the things that I started doing, especially right before my dad passed away, I literally told everybody in my family, make sure you have your support system because once this happened, I can't be that for you anymore. I have poured so much of my time, so much of myself into other people that I was not pouring into Londa. It was like when I was younger, it was family, 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 this, and then my sister had babies and I was helping her with her kids, and then I moved out and other things happened and I started pouring into other people, and at some point it's just like I lost me. And then I started having kids and it was just like, okay, well, can I get back to me? Can I get back to me? But once it came to the point to where I knew certain things and transitions were getting ready to happen, I made it very clear. Please have your support system because I will not be that during this time. I am going to take this time for me and I am going to grieve. I am going to do whatever it is I need to do for myself that I have to do. So yeah, I am just starting this journey of taking care of myself like I know who I am. So we just gonna keep on going with it. All right, y'all. Tonight is look, got my head running and thinking about some things. Y'all done gave me some stuff to think about tonight. Um, so Miss Iridescent Star, where you go? Where you go? Because you actually came up on my next question. So I'm gonna come right back to you. What do you do for your self-care?
All right, so for me, my self-care is in my routines. And sometimes I'll be talking about how I used to be a night owl and now I'm an early bird. And so finding the routines, observing how I actually do, how long it takes me to do certain stuff so that I can allot myself time to do those things so I don't feel like I'm being rushed by other people or that I feel like I'm disrespecting their times by showing up, late or by the time stuff about to leave because y'all ain't about to put me to work type of ordeal. So my form of self-care is truly creating routines for myself and understanding and having self-awareness about what it is that I truly need and the needs that I know that I need to have music when I work in the office. Like that's something that I've had to advocate for myself. Like I understand y'all on y'all time, but if you want me to be able to actually do my job and do my job effectively, there are certain things that I do need. And yes, I need to be able to stay calm by having my music playing. You know what I'm saying? It won't be out loud and all these other things, but being able to advocate for myself is a form of my self-care, knowing that, if I set time for my TV time, that's my TV time. Like it's not happening. I try my best to let people know, look, I have Zooms on Mondays and Thursdays. So y'all gonna have to work our way. If you need something from me, y'all gonna need to ask me on other days that I'm not already preoccupied. Them late invites, like don't invite me the day before an event because I've scheduled time for myself to check in. And if my day off doesn't mean that I'm available for the family to go chauffeuring everybody around, just because you know that that's my day off, that does not mean I'm available to you. I'm available to me and what I need to do to decompress and let the day go by or the week. You get what I'm saying? listening to music and singing in the shower. You know, that's a form of self-care for me, and actually allotting myself the 30 minutes that I know it takes for me to take my shower, you know, paying myself first. You know what I'm saying? When my check comes, I make sure I pay myself first. You know what I'm saying? I take money from my check and it automatically goes to a different account, because everybody else, I got to pay this place or this place or this place. What about I need to pay me? You know what I'm saying? And a lot in fund money for myself. You know, we put a lot of money to save and we have bills and stuff like that, but a lot of myself to have fund money to say, no, I'm going to spend this $20 however I want to spend this $20. You know what I'm saying? And putting that within my budget, that no, this is my fun money, you know what I'm saying, or this is my X, Y, and Z. Giving my money purpose is a form of self-care for me, because there was time when I had to rely on my husband for all of the finances and looking for him for this, that, and the third, you know, to the point where it was almost like, nah, you ain't gonna make it without me ever. But
Yes, ma'am.
either way, so those are my different ways of doing self-care, is actually being intentional with my time, intentional, even like my intentional rest. You know what I'm saying? If this is a day I'm gonna sit back and lay back and have my tea and just chill and put my phone on D&D, that's what I'm gonna do, because that's what I need, especially if it's been a super long week. So there's different variations. You know, in the morning I make time to stretch and unwind early in the morning and set aside 10 to 15 minutes getting up a little bit early so that I can do that in the morning, because I know that refreshes me and gets my body moving, so that when I have to go into the office and say good morning to these people, you know, because you can't say rich rising to, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm ready for whatever's about to throw at me, because, you know, people hate you for whatever reason, whatever things that, you know, you being hating on for no reason, you just being you. And taking my power back in that sense, where it's like, nah, today I took a mental health day. I sure did. I took a mental health day today, and I enjoyed every moment of it. You know what I'm saying? And
You should.
I needed it. Now I probably don't got no time to be late no ever again, but that's okay, because even if this job don't work out, God got something else for me, and that's how I do my mental care. my self-care.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm gonna go. So my self-care consists of setting clear boundaries, because I didn't used to have any. So I definitely, my self-care, my main thing is setting clear boundaries with myself, with people. I exercise a lot, as a lot of you know. I meditate, I pray, and I do pamper myself, of course. Look, I love to get these nails done. I love to get my pedicures. And I think one of my most favorite self-care things to do is to take myself on a solo date. I get myself flowers. I take myself out to dinner, and I just date myself, because getting to know me, um, taking care of me, pampering me, allows me to, like like you said before, like you cannot pour from an empty cup. I have poured from an empty cup for so long because nothing was poured into me, that I was like, forget it. I'm not gonna wait on nobody else to do it. I'm gonna pour it into myself. And when I feel like I'm full, then I give some of that out. So, and that's part of where those boundaries come in for me as well. So that's what I do for my self-care. All right, Miss Everlasting, what do you do for self-care, dear?
For self-care, I take care of myself. I do exactly those words. I sit back. I do nothing. I get in the tub. I get in the shower. I listen to God. My self-care, I think I take care of myself more than anybody I ever know. You know, my self-care is telling people no. I mean, and I do it so good that it just be like, oh girl, I have to think about, like, girl, you just said you ain't going and you ain't helping them like you always do, and you ain't, my self-care. It's just that. That's real. That's like my self-care is being taking care of myself, being cool to myself, treating myself real good. I can't really say like it would be taking care, taking my nails and doing all that, because that's just a form of being a beautiful, woman that we are. We just take care of our outer appearance. But self-care, my self-care is mostly taking care of my internal self, my calmness, be staying self-aware. That's I'm taking care of myself. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Miss Infinitely Abundant, what do you do for self-care?
Okay, I was being nosy, but I got a nice surprise just now. Love Twizzlers. Okay, we're trying not to eat this whole bag tonight, but I'm along the same lines as Miss Everlasting in taking my self-care is taking care of myself and controlling my time and not letting people, places, and things do that. And sometimes doing nothing is doing something. It's important to just tap into your body, tap into my body. And I know that when it's necessary for me to create space for myself, going outside, going for walks, being with my outside peeps, the birds and stuff. And definitely having boundaries is most important, because when you have a loving heart and you have love to give and you want to help people, I've learned that, it's not about changing who I am. It's the people that I gave that to, that, didn't deserve it, or I overshared, all those things. So just learning to stay in tune with myself, and being centered with myself and controlling my time. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. Miss Light, what do you do for self-care?
Um, for me, what I do is I usually try to like pamper myself. I like to soak my feet, do my feet. It could be doing my hair or getting my hair done. I mean, like she said, that is like kind of outer, but just doing that, writing, journaling. Right now it's just being aware of my verbiage, like what I'm doing presently. It's just being aware of the self-talk, like the negative self-talk that I do or whatever, or just, not allowing bad thoughts to just fester in my head, and send me reeling into other spaces. So just doing that, gardening is very relaxing to me. So I like to tend to my plants. That's my self-care. Tending to my plants is like tending to me. So taking care of that. Anything that I do with my hands is very like soothing to me. So singing, I'll sing, listen to music, prayer, I might watch a sermon. So it's different things that I tend to do, or go to the beach. If I need to go buy some water, I'll go buy some water. That's very like soothing. It helps me to get clarity, and I can like pour my emotions out or whatever into the sea. So yeah. Or going for a long walk, I'll take a walk and just, what I mean, enjoy seeing whatever I see. Like if I see a bird or a butterfly or just whatever little sights, I like to sightsee. So that's like a self-care thing for me. I'm into like looking at different houses and, what I'm saying, the architecture, stuff like that. So yeah, just little things like that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Miss Nova, what do you do for self-care?
Any type of creative expression. I used to play guitar, and so recently I went guitar shopping. I didn't buy anything, obviously, but like I want to get back into that. Playing a musical instrument or drawing. I like to draw realistic things, especially plants, or anything active. Getting outside, hiking, getting my hands in the dirt and just being outside. I like what Infinitely Abundant said, where she just created a space for herself. I really do think that that is a big thing with self-care, and also having boundaries and having self-discipline. Really, like I gotta tell myself no sometimes, and I gotta do hard things that I don't want to do. It could be like washing some dishes. Like, I don't want to do that, but I got to do it. So I got to discipline myself at times, and that's another way I show myself self-care, some tough love.
Thank you so much for sharing. Miss Superstar, what do you do for self-care?
Well, thank you for asking. Now I'm walking 1 hour every day. I take long, slow drives and just look at nature. I spend 45 minutes to an hour soaking with my soul healing salts. Not every day, but I do it quite often. I sing, even when somebody listening and they acting like they ain't hear me, but I do. And I just love on me. I just love on me. I keep my hair and my nails done. And I make people honor my boundaries now. If I set a boundary, I stand on that shit. Because as soon as you step to the left or the right, sway a little bit with the breeze, they think that means for them to go. So I stand firm. And I mean just that. Because people only going to do what you allow them to do. So I am all in love with me again. I'm falling in love with me. Now, I've been fell in love with Jesus. Now it's time for me to fall in love with me. Thank y'all for letting me share.
Love that. Yes, ma'am. Miss Stardust, what do you do for self-care?
So I have a whole self-love calendar. I've been on it for like 3 years. Each month has a theme. This month is Marvelous May. So I'm focusing on every direction of being marvelous in myself. Each day has a pivot point. We have retreat days where I just focus on me. We have accommodating days where I see what I can help you with and where I see what I can't. We have hybrid days where I'm just kind of scanning the day and not really trying to be in it. And protection days where I'm just full on, just no. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be no. Like, it's all me. Every day has an idea. On the second, it's shine. I get to smile with time. I get to smile with joy. So I focus on joy in all those days. Every day has a chakra. Today is Thursday. I link Thursday with trash day because what is that? Speaking. The throat chakra is today. So clear communication. And I also have a birthday minute. 3:20 is my birthday, so 3:20 a.m. or 3:20 p.m. I celebrate myself for that full 60 seconds. The world is not gonna stop. Everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna do my little dance. That's why I was so excited when Kaisha gave me that minute back, putting that minute back into my calendar because I didn't forget it, but I got used to the 3 years. So yeah.
I promise there's something I do at 8:17, and you can ask them. Like, I post it all the time. At 8:17, for this 1 minute. It is my birthday, so I'm with you on that one. All right, Miss Selfie, what do you do for self-care?
Oh, y'all are so amazing. Y'all just done made me so doggone happy. Y'all just made me happy. My self-care involves prayer, devotion, sermons, journaling. What I'm going to start implementing in my self-care is hugging myself. I did it today and it felt really good to just grab myself and just make me feel good about myself. Do it, y'all, do it. It feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. Because you got to love yourself, and that's part of self-care, you know. Oh, eating better, implementing that. I'm getting back in that gym, yo, now that I'm feeling better. I'm getting back in that gym. And what else I write? That's it. That's it. That's it. Just, I'm going to start definitely carving out that time. I really do like that. I was doing it for a while and then I was start moving around a lot. So I'm going the whole night that you had is just made me look at things that I can do to better take care of myself. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. So, ladies, we are at the top of our hour and a half that went by really, really fast. So I didn't get to ask all of my questions, but that is quite all right. So this was our self-reflection Thursday because it is often good to look at some of our cares, our concerns, and the way that we take care of ourselves. The way we see ourselves, the way we just move through life in general. So Kaisha. Well, good. Look, watch Popeye 13. Yes, ma'am, honey. I post it all the time, honey. It's 8:17. We missed it a minute ago because somebody was talking. Otherwise, I would have been posting at 8:17. It's my birthday for this 1 minute. I don't care every day.
That I always saw it, but I never knew why. I catch it, and I'm like, I catch my birthday every day. Why? And then when you said that, and it's something just set in my spirit, and it never changed. And I started acknowledging it every single day.
If not for 2 minutes out of the day, I am going to acknowledge my life on this earth for 2 minutes every day.
I
So,
got a question real quick.
yes.
When for Kaisha, when does the due start, and who do we need to send that to?
Oh, right now we getting it together. I'm gonna give it to you in the next day or so. Well,
Okay.
however, I'll give it to you in the next 48 hours. We'll have a place for you to send it to in the next 48 hours. Okay.
Okay. I'm sticking around for the closing, child. I ain't going in this house until we close.
Well, okay,
I had to
let's
move
just say
today. Look
not
at
the
that.
next 48 hours, the next Monday. Monday on the Zoom, we'll
When in God's time we'll get it. Thank you, love.
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
y'all for letting me ask that question.
Thank you.
So I am just going to end this with one thing that I say this for the end of this self-care reflection day. Please, I would like for everyone to remember their problem is not your problem. You do not have to take away from yourself to be involved in their problem. Their problem is their problem, and you let them handle their problem. If you do not feel like you can handle their problem, don't take it upon yourself to handle their problem. That's what I have for everyone today. Does anybody want to share anything?
Thank you so much for that reminder.
I love y'all ladies so
Yeah,
much.
that was. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I wanted to share this and then I'm done. I wanted to say because when Nova was like at the best, I can't care more than you. Okay, Alicia, come on. I can't care more
Amen.
than you. Amen. And I put this, even when Nova was like, because I always want to do, even at your best, you could be better. You know what I'm saying? So just doing the best that you can, and you still get better even in your best. So it's good. And I also wanted to say, because Miss Nash talked about fear in her spirituality. And then when I was like taking myself for granted, when we was talking about taking for granted, she was like spirituality. I just wanted to share that, man. That touched me, girl, when you said that, because that's really true. I take my spirituality for granted. And I wrote this: fear in my spirituality, because I am so powerful that I don't want nobody to hurt themselves trying to be me. That was so good. You know what I'm saying? So, but we have to really be so powerful even with ourselves, and it's okay with other people, observing and looking, and it'll be okay. Still be the best you, because they gonna end up hurting themselves trying to be you, and then they gonna find their way. So just be you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to share that, and I love y'all. Yo, you still got to pick somebody, but either way, so who else got to share?
Pick somebody. Hold on, I'm just gonna do this. Miss Nash. I went straight to Miss Nash. Come on, Miss Nash.
Yay, I'll be ready. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I enjoyed this, y'all.
I enjoyed it as
Thank you. You did a
well.
great job.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Love you
Thank
guys.
And
you
y'all
I
don't
so
can't
forget to
wait to see my
celebrate
baby
Pad
about to
13
die.
with me.
See you guys
Congratulations,
Monday.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bye.
Good night. Oh, Kaisha, what were you said you wrote down you was gonna share with us?
Oh, that's what I had wrote down. What I was talking about, that fear.
Okay.
That's what I had wrote down. Even at your best, you could be better. And don't be so fearful of your spirituality. Do what you do, and people understand that can't nobody do what you do like you can do it.
I didn't know if that was the same or if it was separate.
Yeah, that was. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye. Love you,
Love
ladies.
y'all. See y'all later.
See you
See y'all
sweet
later.
ladies.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.